and welcome back to Prisma Talks. I'm excited to have you with us today. We have two very special guests. The education Rezyta Makarim and psychologist Dr. Rossy. Good morning, Rezyta and Dr. Rossy. How are you about today?
Good morning, I'm doing well. Thank you for having us.
I'm well and blessed. Thank you for inviting us here today.
It's great. Harder. Today we're talking important topic. The impact of will listening on student and their education. Dr. Rossy, listening starts with you. Can you explain how students often get drawn into the listening?
So, how students get drawn into such a lifestyle has many points. First of all, is from peer pressure. Adults, they usually are influenced by their friends or by their society, and they usually have an identity crisis and want to fit in and get accepted by society. So they follow their friends who get drawn into that risky lifestyle. The second point is from family supervision or parent supervision. When most of these kids, they have minimal supervision from their parents, so that's why they think that it's okay and it's legal to do these wild lifestyle movements, and also they don't have their parents looking at them, asking or caring for them, so they feel that they're free to do anything. The third point is from their family financial status. Usually people or teenagers that come from a low income family, they often do the wide lifestyle movements because it's a way for them to cope with their situations.
Okay, that's a really inspiring point, Dr. Rossy. Okay, Rezyta, how things listening answer you of student productive in school? Are they perform as well as their parents who are engaging in their bigger?
Great question. Unfortunately, their educational productivity tends to suffer quite a bit from our observations. Students who are living these wild lifestyles often show a little concern for their schoolwork. It's alarming to see that around 6.92% of school-age girls drop out due to pregnancy outside of marriage. This clearly shows how such lifestyle can dramatically impact their future and disrupt our educational system. In my recent survey of schools dealing with issues like promiscuity and substance abuse, I found many students lacking motivation. They often view education as unimportant, which leads to poor grades. When they eventually drop out, they face break job prospect, and this cycle of unemployment can lead to even more serious social issues.
That's really too fast. Dr. Rossy, can you understand from psychology forensic why some students become so everything in this will thing?
Absolutely. So there's of course a psychological aspect to why students are so drawn into a wild lifestyle. First of all, is because, as I said again, adolescents or their process to adolescence, they usually struggle with identity crisis or forming their identity. So they naturally have a process where they want to fit in into societal norms and boundaries. And also, other than that, they also want to be admitted by the society, especially their friends. Um, Other than that, additionally, usually teenagers or students who live a wild lifestyle, they experience psychological impacts. For example, low self-esteem or anxiety. And the way for them to cope with this psychological impact or psychological sickness is to put it out to a wild lifestyle by smoking, by drinking, by partying hard, and so on and so forth, because they think that it's the best way for them to release everything or release all of their stress. I worked with a patient once named Rena. She was a brave and bright student before, but unfortunately, she was into a circle of friends that, like to party, did drugs, and did lots of sex out of marriages. And that became a low point in her life to the point she was depressed and had anxiety. And she counseled with me. And actually, with that counseling, she got better and she healed. So it's really just a process of adolescence.
Okay, that's a powerful explanation, Dr. Rossy. I'm really excited how important it is to endorse this issue. Rezyta, what phrasing interesting is Ministry of Education important to help combat the problem and support students who are faced.
We're taking several proactive steps. One major initiative is increasing funding for school counseling programs to ensure that trained professionals are available to help students who are struggling with mental health and behavioral issues. We are also focusing on enhancing parental involvement programs to help families better understand the challenges their children face and promote healthier communication. Additionally, we are reforming the curriculum to include more lesson on life skill, resilience, and decision making by equipping students with the tools they need to navigate social pressure. We hope to reduce their likelihood of engaging in harmful behavior.
First injury sound really agree. How how do you most the story of their programs, Rezyta? What feedback are you looking at?
That's a great question. We're using various metrics such as student performance data, dropout rates, and feedback from both students and parents through survey. We also work closely with school counselors to gather qualitative data on student well-being. This holistic approach will help us assess how effective our initiatives are and make adjustments where needed.
Thank you for sharing that. Dr. Rossy, can you sharing some strategies that parents can use to better support their children during a challenging time?
Okay, so parents can make a huge difference in their children's lives, and they have to have the biggest contribution to their children's lives. For sure, they have to have an open communication with their children. They have to get to know their children in many types of ways they can do. They can bond with their children, have family time on weekends, just basically spare their time for their child, to know what their children is up to know what kind of friends their children are engaging with, and also to actually know the activities that their children are doing, or what kind of achievements that they're getting through, and what struggles they have or are facing. Because parent support is really big on children's confidence and how these children actually live a healthy lifestyle. And secondly, parents need to engage them into activities and hobbies that are actually healthy for them in many aspects, both in relationships, both for themselves, and both for their achievements in academic nor non-academic aspects. So with actually making their children develop in hobbies and also activities that benefit them in a lot of positive ways, it could far reach them, or just make sure that their child is not engaging in a wild lifestyle or doing risky things that could harm them and also their family.
Okay, those are fantastic guys. Rezyta, as we looking today, as we to what the for you, what are your hopes for the education system in Indonesia regarding this issue?
My hope is to see a generation of students who are more resilient and who prioritize their education and well-being. We aim to create a supportive environment in school where students feel safe and motivated to learn. By addressing these pressing issues head-on, we can foster a healthier, more educated society that contributes positively to our nation's future.
Okay, thank you, Rezyta and Dr. Rossy, for sharing your insights today. Your experience is inspirable as regards the challenge. Okay,
Thank you for having us here today. It was really insightful. Thank you everyone for watching and
thank
listening.
you. And thank you everyone is there for listening to Prisma Talk. Until next time, take care and stay informed.
Thank you.